Hi everyone, welcome to my shop and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm just creating this YouTube channel now, and the reason I'm creating it now and haven't done it in the years gone by is I watched a lot of YouTubes over the years, and one of the things that kept coming to me was, what am I going to make my YouTube channel all about? And it's taken me a while to get there, to be ready to make this YouTube channel. And I'll tell you the reason why is that I have a lot of passions, a number of things that I'm passionate about, and I didn't know what I wanted to focus on. So it finally occurred to me that I have a couple of passions, a couple of things in my life that I'm really passionate about. And you might be looking around here and say, it's a wood shop. Well, kind of, yes. I do like woodworking, and woodworking is going to play a big part in my YouTube channel, but not just any kind of woodworking. So let me tell you, I'm getting ready for retirement. I'm going to be retiring in about a year's time from now. So I have really been ramping up to do my hobbies, to pursue my passions. My passions are, and I'll tell you, art. I love painting. I've been painting for 25, 30 years. I used to do watercolor. I went through a period of time where I did acrylics. I've even done airbrushing. I've been involved in a number of different medias with painting. And over the last 5 or 6 years, I've really got into oil painting. So now I focus on oil painting. So one of my big passions is art, looking at art, studying the masters, looking at their techniques, and then ultimately painting. So one of my passions is oil painting. So the other passion is guitars. So I love to play the guitar. I love to look at guitars. I love to read about guitars, and just in general, be involved in guitars. Obviously, the biggest part of guitars for me is playing guitar, but that's not what I'm going to do here. So let's get back to what I was saying a moment ago. So I'm gearing up for retirement, and as I gear up for retirement, I paint and I love guitars. So I started thinking, when I get to retirement, where am I going to do the things that I'm really passionate about? I used to paint in the house. I used to have a bedroom here and there to paint in. I used to paint in my living room. I painted in various places, garage, that kind of thing. So about a year ago, I started working on a space to paint and also use as a wood shop. So I took my space and I broke it into two halves. And in one half, I created an art studio where I can paint and follow my pursuit of, the love of painting, that passion. And the other side, I wanted a wood shop. I like to tinker in wood. Over the years, I've very much been involved in doing a little bit of carving, a little bit of woodwork, making things. In fact, I made this table here. It might not be the best workbench in the world, but I took 2x4s. I constructed it into a very solid workbench that can be used here in the wood shop. So, and I've worked on a number of other pieces that are in here that hold and support tools, a planer table, a jointer table, that kind of thing. So I made a few pieces that are used outside. I built an outdoor bar. I've been involved in woodworking on and off over the years, but I wanted a place to indulge my woodworking occasionally. But the main reason I wanted a wood shop was I wanted to pursue my love of guitars. So I decided that in my retirement, that's coming up, like I said, in about a year from now or so, and in my spare time now, on the weekends and in the evening, but eventually full time, I wanted a place to pursue my passions. So I built an art studio, like I said, where I can paint now and follow that passion. And I wanted a wood shop where I could follow the passion of doing the occasional woodworking project, but mostly focusing on building guitars, right? So you might be asking yourself, do I know anything about building guitars? And the answer is very little. I have been watching YouTube videos over the last couple of years. I've been reading books on building guitars. I've been sort of learning anywhere I could about the pursuit of building a guitar. Now, I'm not a luthier. I have not studied as a luthier, but I will work on building guitars and I will figure it out. So I am starting out by building an electric bass, and eventually I will start building acoustic guitars. I might have a bit of a journey to get there, but I will build guitars, and I will do that on this YouTube channel. So if you're interested at all in art, watching me paint, now I'm not going to start out by showing anybody specifically how to paint. I'm not giving any lessons in painting. I'm just going to pursue my passion of painting and videotape it and create YouTube videos for you to watch for entertainment, and you may learn a thing or two along the way if that's your passion too. So I will create in the art studio some YouTube videos on me painting, and I will be here in the wood shop creating initially a bass guitar, and then hopefully later on as time goes on I will start building acoustic guitars. One of the things that I will need to do on these YouTube videos prior to creating acoustic guitars is create jigs and get some additional equipment. I have a fair bit of equipment in here now for woodworking, but I will need some very specific pieces of equipment for actually building acoustic guitars. And as I acquire that equipment and get ready to make those guitars, I will review that equipment, share that equipment with information with you, and create YouTube videos around that equipment, maybe some reviews. Like I said, I'm going to build a bass guitar. But one of the things I've been doing over the last month or so prior to actually starting this YouTube channel is I have started creating my bass guitar. And what I'm holding here is a neck for that bass guitar. And as you probably know, you can have bolt-on necks to guitars and bass guitars. You could have a glue-on neck, or you could have, which is what I'm holding here, a neck that runs right through the body. So a through-body guitar or a through-body bass guitar, and that means this portion is obviously the neck of the guitar, and this part here becomes integral or a part of the actual guitar itself. So this is what I began working on. This will form the neck of the bass. I've begun shaping it. It's got a ways to go. You can see here, and we'll talk about this in upcoming videos. If you join me, you subscribe to my channel, you follow my channel, you will see me continue working on this bass guitar. And you can see here, I've cut a channel in here for the truss rod. The guitar body will fix here and here in what's known as wings. So they will become portions of the body that are called wings. For an example, here is one of the pieces of wood that I will be using to form the one side of the bass guitar. This will clearly be cut and shaped to be that of a guitar bass wing. And then on the other side, I will obviously have another piece that will be cut to form the other side. The wood that I'm holding here in my right hand that forms the body is maple. It is a burl. And so join me here on this YouTube channel as I prep this guitar, bass guitar, and I get it ready to accept the body, attach the body, form the body, attach the body. And then there's going to be a lot of work to be done over time of adding the pickups, the electronical components into this bass guitar and turning it into a usable bass guitar. I've been slowly picking up some of the parts to make that bass guitar. For example, I have the machine heads here that will be the tuners. And so I've been slowly collecting some of the parts. I've got some of the electrical components that will form the volume control, or what's known as the pots. They are here. I've got frets here that will need to be installed into the actual fretboard. Now you might be looking at this and saying, well, there is no fretboard. This is a piece of maple right now. It does not have the fingerboard attached to it. The fingerboard is right here. It's a raw piece of rosewood that will be attached here, glued on here over top of the truss rod, and it would be formed and shaped to make a usable fingerboard, right? So if this kind of thing excites you or gets you interested, think about following me, think about subscribing to this channel as I go through the process of creating this. And because I'm new to guitar making, or in this case, bass making, I do have certain skills that I can use, woodworking skills that I can use. I've got a lot of the tools. I do not have the expertise as a luthier. You might be saying, well, what business do you have making guitars? Well, join me here on this channel as we go through figuring out what I need to know to make that bass guitar. And then inevitably, if you stay with me over time, we'll get into making some acoustic guitars and see where we get with that. It's going to be a learning process. It's going to be a great opportunity to really hone some of my skills and really get into that as I retire. So like I said, I'm getting ready to retire the next year or so, and then I'll be full-time in here and full-time next door in the art studio, creating art and what I consider to be artful bass guitars or artful guitars. So join me here. Let's take a look before we end here. We'll take a look over at what I've built as the art studio. This is the art studio. So welcome to my art studio. So like I said, sometimes we'll be over in the wood shop working on guitars, building guitars, and sometimes I'll be over here painting. So like I said before, my passion is really oil painting. I don't do much other kinds of painting these days, mostly oil painting. But if you take a look here, these are some paintings I've been working on. I built this structure on the wall here, which is basically an easel that is adjustable and allows you to mount various different types of paintings. And the reason I've done it that way is because it will allow all different size paintings to be on there. I can be working on multiple paintings at one time. And as you're probably aware, oil paintings can stay wet for a while. That may not be something you want. You may be working wet into wet, and that may be fine. But if you're wanting to have layers of paint dry before you apply the next layer, then we're basically in a situation where we will need to move paintings around. So I got places for paintings to go here. I have other easels. I can work on multiple projects at one time. I'll show you the art studio a little bit more once we get doing some painting, but I just wanted to give you sort of an overview of what this area is, the painting area, give you a sense of that. So thanks for joining me today, guys. If this is something you're interested in, please join me. Take a look at my videos, follow along, give me a like. Also, if you have any comments, you want to ask questions about anything in the wood shop, about the process I'm working on as I go through this, you want to ask some questions about the bass guitar or any of the projects that I'm working on in there, hit me up with a comment. I'll be glad to answer them. If you want to know anything about the art studio, about the artwork I'm working on, or anything like that as we go through these YouTube videos, please, again, hit me up with those comments. If you like the channel, please think about subscribing. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm going to be working here on and off over weekends and in the evenings as I ramp up for my retirement. So join me. And once I hit retirement, I'm basically going to be full-time in the art studio or in the wood shop. I look forward to many years of use between these studios. So I really appreciate you joining me. Thanks again. Until the next video, thank you, everybody. Basically going to be full-time in the art studio or in the wood shop. I look forward to many years of use between these studios. So I really appreciate you joining me. Thanks again. Until the next video, thank you, everybody.